In today's video, what we're going to be going over is essentially the main things that you need to be doing to grow your brand and what the actual things that can get you to where you want to be. Essentially, what we've seen is we had a brand that we're talking to about the last couple of weeks, and the problem that they mainly were having was they were not finding the key interest of what they needed to be doing and why they should be targeting their absolute market. I figured, hey, why not showcase a little things that can actually help a brand that's your size be making the minimum goal that we see as viable, which is $50K per month, to actually help grow your brand and scale it to 7, 8, and 9 figures. Let's dive into it and actually get into the particular results. So what we're going to be diving into is the 6 steps that you actually need to be refining your brand and getting it to where it needs to be. So the first thing that we're going to be analyzing is actually doing the research. Research is one of those crucial informational pieces, but it's not the only thing. Looking into it, you also need to find who your target is, right? Your brand's values, additionally reevaluating your ops, and also making sure that you have the right payment solutions and the essential features of your product to actually get people excited of what they need to do. Additionally, my favorite part is always assembling the team and making sure that that's the fun part of who's going to be in this journey with you. But let's dive into the first one. Most of the time, when we actually have a brand that comes to us and what they're actually figuring out, we realize they do not have their story on point. Most of the time, that's usually because they do not have a unique selling proposition in line with who their true target customer is. Additionally, what we actually have them do is do some research into who that customer could be and backed with total data. One of the things that we like to do here is we call it data-driven TikTok optimization if we're going on TikTok or any other platform that's actually going to be to get people excited and to understand what your product is all about. As it says here, you have to make sure that you know who your unique selling point is and why you're actually going to be initializing that with your target market. Now, we're going to go on to the next point. How do you actually figure this out? This is actually going to be asking the right type of questions. So what we actually have them do is, who are you talking to? Why are you actually talking to them? What are the actual things that you can find out about them and why they love your product so much? There's one thing that we realize when it comes down into these first 3 questions is when people don't understand who they're actually talking to, that's not going to have a great alignment to what we're going to be doing when we're running their ads and making sure that we know who their actual interest targeting is and the exact type of psychographics that actually need to be necessary. What are the actual interests, right? So, for example, one of our favorite products is if it's in skincare, right? If it's men's skincare, women's skincare, does not matter. But what the actual thing that you need is to make sure that your audience loves you and loves what they're doing, right? So if you don't know their interest and what they actually have an interest about, right? It's not just can be skincare, but what's their overall personal development journey? What do they care about? What do they think about when they go at night? These are the exact things that you want to be thinking in that type of question. Additionally, what are their fears? Okay. A lot of people, they just don't want to look bad. Be honest, right? And so if people don't want to look bad, what is the actual things that they can be doing to get themselves better looking? Obviously, that's with your product, right? So these are the type of fears that you actually want to be focusing on and understanding how you can actually solve that. That's that to be a fear monger, but actually become a true solving problem in the audience and within your target market, okay? Exactly what are the struggles? What are the exact things that they're actually passionate about, right? Because people want to be aspiring to better, like for example, within the skincare space, this is the type of things that you want to be asking yourself and actually getting those type of solutions. But that only can be a hypothesis, but you need to back that up, as mentioned previously, with data-driven tips. A couple other questions that we like to have them ask is, okay, what are you fighting against, right? Is it your parents? Is it your family? Is it your friends? It can be any person. It might even be the world, but these are the type of things that you want to know about your particular customer and why they should be actually utilizing your product. Again, what makes your specific product unique, right? There's tons of skincare products, great with formulations, just because I'm using skincare just because that's a field that we're in a lot, but it can be anything, right? What are the particular things that actually make your product unique and standing out in the market as well? Why are you actually relatable? For example, that's the reason that we love TikTok so much is because it comes out, as I mentioned before, in TikTok authenticity, right? You can see that people love it. People understand why the heck they're actually buying your product, right? Because they can relate to you. And that's one of the things that the TikTok platform does absolutely well. Additionally, what are your benefits? How can you actually reach your target audience? And how do you actually make their life easier? And this will be the answering the question of why they specifically need you. So that's example things that you want to get solved and actually go on to your next thing. Do you have a great operations in place? You see, one of the things that I've noticed is when it comes down to it is some people just does not have their stock ready. So if you don't have stock and all these things in place, how do you actually plan to sell out when you need your orders? When people actually want to buy your product, when you have so much supply, you want to have a great operations in place to actually make sure that you're fulfilling the demand and making sure that people that love your products are actually getting it on time and the way that makes sense. That is what Amazon has introduced to the market. So additionally, you want to make sure that you have your operations in place. One of the first things that you want to be doing is actually making sure that you have great stock, as mentioned previously. So do you have enough stock to actually satisfy the demand that you're expected to get based upon the numbers and data that you've done previously from your research? Then it comes into your shipping logistics. You see, do you actually have a system in place to actually make sure that you're having the products get onto the customer in timely fashion? Do you have great order management? You see, do you actually have the infrastructure to make sure they're managing the orders before they've even come to you? Because if that's not something you have, well, that can be a little problematic. What makes your brand unique? So these are the particular things that you should be looking for. You actually want to be doing is finding your star features. So for example, this can be an excellent customer service. Like imagine if you're in a restaurant, the type of things that you want to be treated with as a customer when you're getting a sit down, the experience, what you see is the things that are actually going to make people actually want to hone in to your brand. Next day delivery, never hurts, right? People love things just like they love Christmas, right? That's particularly where we're about to be in the holiday seasons now when we're recording this video. So about the things that you need to do is making sure that people get their products on a timely fashion, as mentioned previously. Making sure that you actually have great products, right? You can't market towards a bad product. Unfortunately, it just won't work, right? You can fool people for only a little while, but in the end, they're going to figure out if their product can actually solve the solution that you say it does. You always want to make sure that you're highlighting and communicating the essential things about your brand and those features that make your products lovely to customers at the end of the day. And if I didn't mention, you want to be doing this everywhere. Another thing that we realize is going to be important, right, as while you're helping your brand to get to the point that you need to be getting in 50K per month, is actually improving out your checkout experience. Okay, so when people buy your products, they love it, they've already purchased and add to cart, what are you doing? You got to make sure that every single time that experience is important, right? So for example, they're thinking, not that I have buyer's remorse, but they actually understand, hey, I bought this product. I can't wait to get it. I want to see it. I want to have it in my hands. That is the type of checkout experience that you want to be having, right? So let's get into it, right? The typical checkout flow is something like this, okay? You want to have your product page, okay? These are the things that you want to make sure that you're honing in on. Again, then you take into that your shopping cart page. That's the next thing that you want to hold on, right? Then review the items, okay? And then make sure that you now have the shipping and billing information. You know how it goes. And then the person adds their payment information. And this is when you have them questioning if they actually want to buy your product or not. And they can calculate what the cost of shipping and taxes and all that's going to be, right? And then they have the order confirmation. Thank you for buying my product and all those such a things. Now, my favorite part is assembling the dream team. So if you never watched Power Rangers when you're little, I'm sorry, I don't know what you're doing. Just kidding. But essentially, you want to make sure that you have the exact reasons that someone should be buying from your particular brand. And the only way that can happen is because if you have a great team behind you. You see, a great team allows you to stand on their particular shoulders to help support the brand and actually get it to the growth of where it needs to be, right? So this should be absolutely one of your favorite parts and when you're building your brand. And this is not just things that you do on day one. This will be continuous in your journey as you help build your brand up to 7, 8, and 9 figures. You know how it goes. If you love the points that we highlighted in this particular video, I want you to actually find a way to actually get this into the impact of your brand. If you're interested and you're making 6 to 7 to maybe even 8 figures, book a call with us down below and we'll highlight every single thing that you need to be doing to getting your brand either on the places that it needs to be as a 6-figure brand, or even additionally, you'll be surprised as a 7, 8-figure brand. There's a couple things that you might be missing to get your brand to the place and the next level that it needs to be on. Essentially, if you love the points that are already in this call, put a comment and we can go through there as well. Additionally, if you love any other points that we made and mentioned in this particular video that could pique your interest, let's find a way to actually bring a solution for you and add it towards your market and something that you can bring to the actual customer and the rest of your audience. If interested, book a call with us down below and you can find the link for wherever you are in the world. We work internationally, so that's one of the benefits of working with us. And so if you're interested, put your time, put the link, and we'll have you and find you there. Okay? But otherwise, see ya, and I hope you have a great day. Ciao.